All right, so we're gonna do an upper body focus day. A little bit shorter than some of the full body workouts, but just something you can throw in, need to blast the upper body, and move on with your day. This can go in conjunction with, we did a lower body workout previously uploaded, so you can check that out for the lower body and core as well. So what you will need today is we need a band or dumbbell. Ideally, dumbbell is going to work great in this situation. Again, if you only have a band at your disposal, you can go a band or a makeshift dumbbell if you found something that works really well around the house. If you do need to use a band in the sense of 2 arms, I'll kind of show you what to do with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 exercises here. Hopefully you got all warmed up before you hit play on this. We have 3 exercises that we're going to go through. We have a bent over row, an overhead press, and then a floor tricep core exercise. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through time on one side of the body. So we'll do a bent over row on the right side, again with a band or a dumbbell. Then we'll stand up, we'll have 5 seconds, then we'll go right into an overhead on that same side. And then we will finish with a plank to plank. And again, we'll have that same arm that just worked be our lead arm. So for that plank to plank, we're in that plank position. We're gonna take that arm that we just worked with the row and the press, come up to that position, back down. And you can kind of take that nice and slow, hold each spot. Okay, you can do this from a modified with the knees down if you'd like. Again, we just want to look for having that core press forward, engaged here as we move through that movement. Okay, so everything's gonna be timed. Again, make sure you have a dumbbell or band. We are gonna start with a bent over row. We'll start on our right arm, and you'll be in that bent over position, rowing back, reaching back out. If you do have furniture that you can lean into and you want a little bit of support for the low back, you can go that route. And then if you have a band, just make sure you step in. And again, we're just gonna focus on rowing through that one side. Okay? All right, here we go. It's gonna transition fairly quickly. We're gonna work for 30 seconds, 5-second transition. So I'm going to use a dumbbell for the most part, but again, you can step in and use a band. So hinge position, row back. Okay, so breathing, making sure we got that nice long spine, weight back into the hips, elbow coming towards you. Taking it one at a time here. Again, this can be with the band as well. So again, focusing a lot on the upper today. You get a little fatigued. Okay, hold on to it with that one side. We're gonna go into an overhead. Right up overhead, right back down. So press, depending on your weight, if it's lighter, you can exaggerate, really go and slow down back to that start. If it's a little bit heavier, you can turn it into a push press. So you can use that little bit of a dip, drive, control back down into that shoulder. And again, if you have a band, you could be pressing with that one side. If your band's a little tight, like mine is, you could do a 2-arm and you'll just have to double up. All right, rowing on the plank, down on the ground here. So now that same side, that right side is gonna press up and then come back down to that plank. So from the side, pressing up and then back down. So now that we kind of know what the order is, transition will be a little smoother. Again, body stays locked in. You can drop those knees. Okay, we're rowing on the other side. So grab your weight, step in, back to the one side. Again, weight back into the hips. Use that piece of furniture to lean into it if you need. Next will be the overhead press. Okay, so transitioning into that overhead press. Again, if you need to use a band and go 2 arms, you can. Control back down. Breathe. So try not to lean as we go up. We want to stay kind of neutral through the body here. We want ribs stacked right above the hips. Okay, so none of this. So everything locked in. All right, right down to the mat here. Back through that plank to push up on this other side. Plank, bring the hand underneath. So ideally that hand's gonna come where the elbow was. Press up. Again, if you drop the knees, make sure hips are still leaning in. Just like that. Okay. We're gonna go through that again. So back to that first arm, and over row. So we're back to the first side. We started with the right side. But driving that elbow back and long spine. So with the head too, you kind of just want to pick a spot out in front that you can look at. All right, then we're going overhead. Here we go. So we're gonna end up doing this little cycle 3 times. So this is 2, so we'll hit each side 3 times. And then we'll just do a little finisher for that upper body. Hit a little bit different muscles. Again, add that little bump if you need to. So here, getting a little fatigued. Again, try not to lose the center. Okay, on the ground. That same side, going up into that plank. So drop, and keeping tension through the core. So we got the core going, a little bit through the tricep. Good, a little bit more. Awesome, guys. All right, other arm, row. So I'll show you with the band. So then you can just get tight on that one side, pulling back. Always kind of make those adjustments. Again, we should feel back here, this muscle, back behind kind of the shoulder blade, armpit area. That's what we're using to pull back. Arms assisting. Okay, overhead. So again, you can go 2 arms in the band, 1 arm in the band, or bring that dumbbell up. Go right up over. And breathing. So we're on the second side of round 2. We'll end up going each side 1 more time. So again, when you strength train and we don't have a lot of rest, we're also getting a little bit of cardiovascular. Just a little added bonus. All right, back to the plank. Just as long as we're focusing on as much resistance as we can get in those strength movements. We still want to challenge those muscles. Breathe. And try not to let the hips lead up. So sometimes we want to kick up to try and get up. Keep them pressed forward. Arm coming underneath. Okay, one more time. Row on that first side. So again, hinge back, set it up, squeeze back. Again, elbows staying tucked in. We're not out here as we row. And relax up here, row back here. Okay, taking it to that overhead. So gear up, lock it in. Again, if your band's too tight to do one arm, and because the band's gonna kind of pull at that shoulder and we just wanna make sure that we're safe through it, you can always go 2 arms in that band together. And since you're doubling up and each arm is helping, it'll all work out in the end. It'll even out. Good, a few more. Okay, into that plank. Okay, drop down. Again, drop those knees if you need. Just make sure, watch my hand here, it's gonna pull under and push up. And that's where we're getting that tricep by coming from here and having to push up. Awesome. Okay, last time, other side, we're rowing. And over, drive back. Again, elbow coming in. Try not to rotate through the shoulders, keep squared off. And good. Going overhead. Pop it up. Again, if you fatigue, use that little bump. On last side here, all we have is that plank left in our way. And then we get a new take on things, new set of exercises. It'll be shorter. Right up over, control back in. Right up. Good, guys, knuckles to ceiling. That elbow travels. Look how quick that went. All right, back to the plank. Last plank. Down and up. Let's go. Let's hang tough here. Hang tough. Push. Again, lock those hips in. Exhale from the belly. 5 seconds. Okay, made it out of there. All right, so what we're gonna do, set that, is we're gonna set time on the clock now, and we're gonna work 2 exercises, and you'll be counting reps. So instead of going with the clock, you'll be counting now, alternating between those 2 at your own pace. Now, one thing is I'm gonna give you reps. The second exercise, the bicep curl, is gonna go up 2 reps every time. So you'll do the 2 exercises, the next time back through, you're gonna add 2 reps to that bicep curl. So it's gonna look like this. Our static one is going to be a push-up. So we're gonna do, I'd say 5 to 8. I'm gonna have you choose, you know where you're at with the push-up game. So anywhere from 5 to 8 push-ups every round. I'm gonna do about 5, just to keep things moving here. So we're gonna go push-ups, and again, you can use the knee drop push-up, and then we're gonna come up. Ideally, if you have a band, this is where a band actually will make it a little bit better. You can always make it tight in between the feet. And we're gonna do bicep curls. We're gonna start with 10. So 10 bicep curls. If you have 2 dumbbells, you can go 2 dumbbells, or if you have a moderate dumbbell, or this is all you got to work with, you can hold end to end and curl up that way as well. Just make sure we're curling up, away, control back down. So curls start with 10, push-ups start 5 to 8, again, somewhere in there. Try and pick a number, and you want to consistently hit that number. And we're just going to go back and forth between those 2 things for 4 minutes. So let's set our clock. And it's a go. We're going to start with those push-ups. Ready? Go. So 5 to 8 push-ups. You can use from the toes, you can use a knee drop to help. Okay, that's one modification, or all from the toes, or knees, sorry. And then 10 bicep curls with whatever you have to curl. And go band. So we're getting 10. Again, you can use 2 dumbbells. You can hold a dumbbell end to end. And make sure those elbows don't creep behind. Make sure they're by your side and we're pulling up. Whoop. And then we go back through. Next time we curl, it'll be 12. Remember to add those 2 every time. And pick it up. I'll show you with that 1 dumbbell. Again, now I'm going to go to 12 curls. Again, you can use band. Trying to use up that clock, get as many rounds as you can. Whew. All right. So then if you start to feel pretty okay with those push-ups, or if you just need a bicep break, you can always, again, up those reps of push-ups. Like I started with 5, I might try and go more of a 7 or 8. Breathe. Breathe. Okay. Coming up on that halfway. So now my bicep curls are at 14. So if you are grabbing a band, make sure we kind of stay neutral. So grab the outside, thumbs up like you're holding a hammer. If you have a band with the handles, then you can obviously have your hand up like this with the handles. Whew. Breathe in. I'm gonna lose my band. Right out from my toes. Don't snap your face with your band. Remember, these get longer and longer. Oh. Okay, coming up on minute 3. Remember, we're only going to 4. Get it. 16. Oof. Good. Breathe in. Smile, knowing that you worked hard. And it doesn't always have to be a lot of cardio. It doesn't always have to be a full body. You can break up your week. Maybe hit the lower and upper, one of our full bodies. It gives you 3 days in a week of structure, and that's a pretty good week. Okay, a few more seconds here. Use it up. And that's your 4 minutes.